We're looking towards Sunday's French races here on this Friday, joined by leading driver Jason Bartlett. Before I go any further, happy holidays to you and yours.
Yeah, you too.
Appreciate that. Thanks very much. Well, no better place to start than with the feature. It comes up as our 11:30 opener, and we didn't know a whole lot about Hemi Seelster before, but we certainly learned quite a bit about him in the last handful of starts. He's just been a holy terror of late. Talk to me about him.
Yeah, you know, the first week here, he's raced really well. Did it really easy. And then we went to Pocono, kind of stretched him out a little bit over there, and he was really good again. And last week, you know, was a bump up in class. Didn't know how he was going to take against racing those type of horses, but, you know, he raced really well. So, you know, it looks like this week's a little bit tougher.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is no room service open. This is, you got Centurion ATM a couple to your inside, and of course you've got that pretty fair Be a Magician to the outside. So we'll certainly get a better idea about Hemi Seelster, I would think, Sunday.
Yeah, you know, it's supposed to be a tougher race, 56,000 on the line. So hopefully you get, you know, a lot of the better horses in the country that are around here. They're here. So, you know, we'll see how he steps up. You know, you can't always win on the front, so, you know, can't be on the front every week. So hopefully we can be there again this week. That's where he seems to like it. But, you know, with being a magician, you know, things can change.
When you first sat behind this one, did you think he turned out to be the kind of trotter that, at least over the last month, he's been?
You know, I thought after the first week, I thought he had the speed, but, you know, it's a lot different between racing against nose at 18,000 and then racing against the open horses. It doesn't matter how fast you go. It's, you know, this is how the open horses do it.
Yeah. Race number 2, you have the back of the bus, which isn't always the worst place to be, but you have one that likes to leave the gate, and that's Zorgwick Nova, and a 30 claimer. Talk about that one.
She likes to leave the gate, but her attitude, she just likes to do anything. It doesn't really matter to her. She'll come from behind. I've won a lot of races, actually, with her coming the second, third over here, first over too, so in the mile and a quarter. So she likes it any which way she needs to race. She's just a nice little trotting mare, great attitude.
That just seems to fit the 30 claimers very well.
Yeah, that seems to be her class, you know. So she, you know, she can stay pretty sharp. She can stay pretty positive about herself, and you know, not get to beat her up against the, you know, the winners over horses.
Okay, these two, you know, we're going to look at our last French race of Sunday with one that's going to be some Jason Bartlett on-the-job training. Annette Lorenzen has enlisted you. Josie's Joy, young lady hits town from Dayton, where the last handful of lines, we'll call them inconsistent. When you sit behind one for the first time, is there some kind of a Jason Bartlett checklist that you kind of go through to see what you may or may not be sitting behind?
No, Anna usually tells me. They're a really good judge of their horses, you know, really good trainers. So I would expect that horse to be, you know, they wouldn't bring that horse here if they didn't think it would get around the track. So, you know, they'll be rigged up right, and Anna will say, you know, how it likes to be raced. But the lines look pretty good compared to what the race shows. Yeah. You know, the race doesn't look that tough, so, you know, I would expect the horse to be pretty good.
Hi, that's Josie's Joy, a shipper in the 7th. Mr. Bartlett with certainly a busy rest of this evening, and busy pretty much every time we race. Appreciate the time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
We're coming back.